back to another review of the Hashflare.io project I've been doing. If this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, what we're doing is we're investing basically a trivial amount in Hashflare to buy cloud mining, hashing rates, and seeing if that's paying off. So before I get started, I just wanted to make that clear because we are not doing this in an ideal manner. This is certainly not a project I would recommend as a method for doing this, especially not with Hashflare right now. It is kind of a unique experiment, but this is in the pre-setup phase. I don't think we're going to actually get anywhere close to seeing any kind of returns anyway until July, and we have just now entered June, so we still have 1 month left of investment before we even get close to the level where people tell you to even start investing in Hashflare. And we're basically just rolling along at a low level to see if you can work your way up to that point. And I'll let you decide if you think it's viable or not based on what you're seeing in my spreadsheet, which is shared below in the description. And even though generally I'm against affiliate IDs, if whatever I said convinced you to join, if you would like to use my affiliate ID, that would definitely be appreciated, but is by no means any kind of suggestion whatsoever, and I am certainly not suggesting that you sign up for Hashflare. So last week we had 48 megahash per second, and on the 27th we made our typical investment to get our extra hashing rate. However, there was a sale going on, so we got a little bit more than the 12 that we usually get, and that brought us up to 63 megahash per second, and we're mining Scrypt. So we don't need tremendous amounts of power to mine Scrypt, but we're certainly nowhere near in any kind of power whatsoever. So for the duration of this week, we had 63 megahash per second. And we kept it on the Litecoin pool because even though the website told us to switch it to one of the other pools, it really didn't make any difference. I think it wanted to switch it to pro hashing. But honestly, the difference between VLTC and pro hashing was so few Satoshi that it really didn't matter. So I go over my Scrypt payouts and maintenance fees in US dollars for simplicity, because talking about the Mikey bits and Satoshis really isn't very practical in some cases. And it's honestly dollars that I care about more than microbits of a Bitcoin. So through this week, we got around 36 to 37 US dollars of Scrypt payout, and we paid about 31 to 32 cents in maintenance fees. So taking a typical day, for example, so I don't have to cover them all because they're all pretty similar. On the 27th, we got 38 cents payout. We paid 31 cents in maintenance fees, and when you partial it out, it ended up we got about 6 cents profit. One of the days when we actually did fairly well was the 29th, which I believe, if we go over to our Bitcoin price, you will see that Bitcoin went from a very low figure to a very high figure. Well, not very high, but went up $300 per Bitcoin. So that made a difference in how much we got. Now, at the ultimate low that we've been at, because as you can see, I've been tracking this project since Bitcoin was at over 9,000, and now it's around 7,000. We have made less and less and less every time. Now, don't let this confuse you. I just wasn't tracking it before and I caught it up. So the key factor that you want to look at is our daily pool variance or daily pool balance variance. Now, the pool balance is going to reset to 0 once we get enough to reinvest. So that's why I keep this column, so that we know how much we made on a daily basis and a monthly basis. So out of the $107.46 that we've invested, in May we got back $1.59. I don't know if you'd call that a good thing or not, but that's where we sit right now. Now, of course, if Bitcoin does go back up, this number will go back up. All right, but we are in June, so let's finish out the week before we talk more about it. So 63 megahash per second, same pool, 39 cents, 32 cents maintenance, made about 7 cents, but it ended up being about 10 cents in total amount. So Bitcoin went up a little bit more, which changed this value a bit. So some key figure points that I want to bring your attention to in the spreadsheet, since May is over and I want to keep a running total as well as a monthly total and a daily total, I started these down here to carry over the previous month's balance. Now, I've made it fairly clear, I think, to say that this is the previous month's balance. And then I can factor that in to what I've made in the daily pool variance to increase that to keep it as a lifetime total. Now, I have our investment carryover down here because this is going to carry over from the previous month. So this is our investment dollar figure and our investment Bitcoin value that we have invested, carried over from the previous month. So as the months progress, you'll be able to see how much total I've invested. Now, after doing this for 1 month, I think it's fair that I give it a summary as to what I think about investing in Hashflare right now. Now, when I started and originally incepted the project, as you can see, Bitcoin was over 9,000. Now, Bitcoin has lost $2,000 per Bitcoin since this project started, and our income has suffered for it. The higher the dollar of Bitcoin, as you can see, we've even had some negative days where we've actually lost money because we still have those maintenance fees, and those are constant. Those do not change. But our payout does, and our balance coming in does. And that is based primarily on this. If this figure is not high enough, then what we've made for the day is not. Now, I copy the revenue forecasts in from the website as to tell me what I should be making in a day, in a week, in a month, and it tells me I should be making, and just so you know, we'll cap out this month by taking the final value. 1 month revenue forecast. I should make $11.84 a month based on their estimations of what Bitcoin should do. Now, I didn't track that figure to say how much I've made. Oh, yes, I did. $6.92 is what I actually made, but we paid out $5.32 of that in maintenance fees. So in the 1 month that they say, and we were a couple of days short of the beginning of the month, so I did not have the full month to work with, but this $11.84 for the month actually ended up being this value right here. Now, I'm not saying Hashflare is not a bad option. You just have to be aware what factors affect the money that you're making. So be aware that the lower the value of Bitcoin, the less money you're going to make. And you are still going to be required to cover the maintenance fees. Now, the one thing that I have to worry about is when we do reinvestment, if the maintenance fees go negative, so if this maintenance fee takes our balance down below 0, they terminate all our contracts. So everything that we've invested is gone. So in this current down market, as you can see, it's a very down market. It is likely that when we get to the $1.80 that we can reinvest to get the lowest amount of hashing rate added, we want to have a little more than that, because we want to have a buffer zone to make sure that if we reinvest $1.80, that the next day the maintenance fees don't take us below zero, or it will start terminating contracts. These are 1-year contracts. So 1 year from this date, this contract starts. 1 year from this date, this contract starts. 1 year from this date, and so on and so forth. Every time I reinvest money, and I'm using air quotes there because I'm not actually using my money. And for full disclosure, I'm actually using mining income and previous investment income to fund this project. I'm not actually investing cash. And if you did miss the introduction, I suggest you go back and watch it to see the purpose and the definition of the project so that you understand what I'm doing. But for the short explanation, I'm not risking any money. I'm risking a trivial portion of things that I've invested or things that I've mined, and that's pretty simple. Now, I think that pretty well wraps up a summary of what I think about Hashflare in the month of May. We will see if the month of June gets any better, because I'm not saying they're bad, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that you should be aware of factors that affect your account. Now, keeping that in mind, I had 2 more Bitcoin related projects that I intended to do. Well, 2 more projects that were kind of related to this that I intended to do. I ordered some things from Amazon to help illustrate my point, or to finish the project, about 2 weeks ago. And Amazon just shipped my stuff yesterday. So I won't get it until next week. So I had hoped to have one of those projects done this week, but that one will have to carry over until next week. So you'll see that coming up this coming week sometime. So definitely stay tuned for that, because I think some people might be interested in it a little bit. And it's not going to be as long term as this project. It's actually going to be probably 2 videos. One's going, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've got some spare parts laying around, and I'm going to build a micro miner out of a lot of parts that I have laying around, but I did need a new computer case and a couple other things to finish the project. And I made a list of the things that I am using, but a lot of what I have is stuff I had laying around the house. And then we're going to see what we could do with those things and how much that's going to assist us in our projects. And they're going to be directed at the next thing I'm going to talk about, and that video should be out tomorrow. So come back tomorrow to watch that video, and that will explain a little bit more about something else that I'm planning on doing. Although the scope of the project is not going to be defined, I just want to talk about what it is in general. I know I'm being vague, and I just don't want to give it away, because if I say too much, then you have no reason to watch the video. And that's certainly not my goal. And to close out, I just want to let you know I am definitely not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to tell you whether you should or shouldn't do something. I'm not trying to tell you that what I'm doing is a good idea. It's just a curiosity that I'm doing. So this is not a typical thing that most people would do. But if you have limited funds and want to invest in Bitcoin, let's try and find a way that people can do that. And $20 a week seemed to be a good factor for this project, so that's what I allocated to put into it, was about a $20 value every week to invest into it to see if it ever eventually paid off. And this project has no point other than to see what, over the course of 2 years, investing $20 a week for 1 year does. Beyond that, whatever comes out of it, I'm probably just going to reinvest in something else or cash it out. I don't think it's going to be any very high dollar figure, but we've got 1 year and 1 month of purchasing, and then 1 year from that point, which will be July 1st of 2019, where we start letting the contracts expire and see what happens. So this is a curiosity, and I certainly hope you are enjoying what I'm doing, because I'm also trying to give a brief thing of what you should look for in cloud mining. And cloud mining is not my forte, but it's a good way to kind of speculate a little bit and see what it's doing without putting too much of your own money into it. And $20 a week seemed like something that would be losable. So I know I spend more than that on trivial stuff that I don't even care about. So that worked. Anyway, I'm going to end this now because I want to start on that other video, because it's going to take some detail and I've got to get some figures together. But I hope you enjoy that one as well. And that one should be up tomorrow at some point, and you can check it out and see what you think. Like I said, I put my affiliate link for Hashflare in here, but I only put it in there because if you're watching this in the future and it does seem to be valuable to you and you do happen to sign up, I would really appreciate it if you would use my affiliate link. But if you don't sign up, then that's fine too. And if you don't want to use my affiliate link, I'm okay with that too. So let's not stress out over that. Just give it as an option. And that's it. I have no expectations whatsoever as to this. And Hashflare is not my primary cryptocurrency focus. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the updates. I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's something I can show that helps illustrate more about things you're curious about, I do notice that the last video got a lot of dislikes and not really sure why. So that would be interesting to hear. But that's it for this one, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching.